We are on page Yud Beis. We started the second section and we are going to go start again. I didn't get very far. Let's see what we can make out of this. So, at the end of the top section of this page, we spoke about sphirot agnosis, which is as a spheres, but they're gonus, they're contained within the AYIN safe. And what is the purpose, the function of these spheres? Said the function of the spheres is that this ultimately provides a possibility of a world receiving small keys after the tzimtzum. Because spheres are distinct spheres which are recognizable after the tzimtzum. In order that there would be orderly key after the tzimtzum, as we mentioned, is that which contracts and conceals the orderly key, the atmos. But that's a sphirot hagnuzos. This is when they come forth, and is gala, and therefore, and they have their usefulness, so to speak. After the tzimtzum, they provide the ability to create a world.
While remaining ganus, or
no, ganus, that's when they reveal themselves.
They start out being concealed and later reveal themselves.
That's right. But what's the catch over here? Initially, the spheres, as they are contained within the AYIN safe. Which means, as we said many times recently, that this is spheres as they are contained in the AYIN safe. Therefore, they're representative of the AYIN safe. They're not just spheres; they're spheres are representative of the AYIN safe. As a result of this, when it comes into world, the world has a representation of AYIN safe via the spheres, agnosis. But the spheres are pointing to the source where they originated. This is the principle as spheres agnosis, that they klulim v'noelolim b'AYIN soiboru. The last line of the previous section, that's the sphirot agnosis, klulim v'noelolim b'AYIN soiboru. One of the two terms, klulim v'noelolim, noelolim means that they're hidden within the AYIN safe. What does klulim mean? Klulim means that they're included, which means that they're actually representative of the AYIN safe within the AYIN safe itself. It is saying that in the AYIN safe there is inyan for the spheres, but they're completely one and bottled inside the AYIN safe, and therefore the effect of when this is spheres on this gala, you have the AYIN safe coming with it. This is and the effect of that is that this is able to bring Eir Eliki, the Achar tzimtzum, into the world. we'll still revisit this. Just want to get into the following section is really turbulent waters.
Into
Huh?
Into what?
Turbulent waters.
The Akhira tzimtzum, that's in Oina Matzilis already?
Yeah. This is the sphirot agnosis.
Where are we?
We are on page Kufiyut base,
Starting.
starting the second section. Aval ha'oirin soif. So this is the sphirot agnosis that are contained within the oirin soif. But the oirin soif itself, einoi b'shvil lahoir. Oirin soif is not it's not have an identity that this is in order to bring out further, to illuminate further. It is not for illumination outside. What then is the yin of the oir inside? It is oir. Here we go very slow, and I'm going to try to identify some of the points. Kiyim, rather, ho bechinas gilu min ho'etzem. It is the aspect, oir inside represents the principle of gilu min ho'etzem, of a revelation from the etzem. Let's talk about Gilui for a moment. The word Gilui means to reveal. It's like if you put your hands against your face, so I can see your face. Then you take your hands off, and now I can see your face. So when I can see your face, it is the very same face exactly that was there behind the hands. It is not an additional protrusion, a presentation of the face. This is the face as it is in essence. But before it was hidden, and now it is revealed. That's not revealed. Revealed means I reveal to you that which the way it is in its source. There is not an additional, there's an extra step in bringing it forth. It is revealing the way it is. That's not Gilui. Oir Soif is not lehoyer, is not to have an effect. It is the bechin of Gilu min Etzem, the revelation from the Etzem. The revelation from the Etzem means that it is the Gilu, the way it was in the Etzem, but before it was hidden, and now it becomes revealed. This is the Oir Soif.
Eno bishvil lahayir. It's not for the sake of having an effect.
Right.
Isn't illumination just revealing what's there? It's not for lahayir is not.
Good question. Lahayir and revealing what's there is that's the problem. Is two different principles. Lahayir means is to affect and to relate that which is outside.
More than just illuminating what is there. It's more a presentation.
No. Illuminate what's there, that is an effect. To reveal that which is concealed is a different thing away. If I'll give a very simple. I say to you, say with me, Breishis, Bora, Hakim, Ez HaShamayim, Ez HaOretz. Do you know what you said?
No.
You said what I said you should say. That's it. There was no Gili, there was no Lehoyed, there was no instruction. If on the other hand I say Breishis
To
from the
remain on
beginning.
this call, press 1.
Okay, so wait. Lahayir and Gilui are different.
Lehoyed, absolutely. Lehoyed means to illuminate. Gilui means to reveal from the Etzem what there is in the Etzem. To unseal the Etzem.
But what what needs to be revealed? The oil wasn't hidden, just the spheres Tagnesis was hidden.
No, Ein Sof, spheres Agnus is the spheres are contained within the Ein Sof. Ein Sof itself is Gilum Mino Etzem.
Yeah, but that was hidden. What means Gilum?
Etzem is, nothing has access to Etzem. Etzem by definition is contained within itself. Oir tells you that there is an Etzem, but Etzem itself it remains what it is. Okay, if you find this difficult, don't be disappointed, don't be surprised, don't be shocked. I warned you. So let discusses it a little bit. Gilum Mino Etzem. Ein Sof is Gilum Mino Etzem. What's the matter? Ukmoi, as for example, Mare vegavon eze dover. Mare the appearance, and gavon the color of eze dover of something. She'enoi, that its function and its purpose is not lifoil as a dover, to affect something. You see it, but this appearance and this revelation, this show, is not in order to affect something. Kiim, only, what is this mara, this appearance and the color represent? If it is not to affect something, so what is its presence, state? Rak only shemoire al hoetzem. It points to the etzem. It identifies that there is an etzem over there. Not anything about it, but that there is an etzem. This is the principle of Mara v'Gavon. We can all readily understand a color of an object. Presumably we're talking about what's called the natural color, not an additional color. The natural appearance of this thing. It does not reveal anything about what the thing is. Just know that there is something there. And what you know, what you're looking at is the true presence of this that you're looking at. It is not a presentation of it, but the true presence of this thing itself.
Well, let's say on a grass which is green, the color, we need the color to see the etzem. We see that, so we see the grass. What does the color show the etzem?
If the earth were also green as the grass, would you see the grass?
No.
No.
Thank you. Everything has its particular appearance. Let's say you look at the face, and you see eyes, and you see a nose, and a beard, whatever it is. This is not to show you the eyes, to show you the nose, to show you the beard. It is the person's appearance as it is to himself. We have in this we have a very clear. The older person, when a person reaches a certain age, his beard begins to gray. This graying is not an additional a dyeing of the beard. It represents the person the way it is, the way he is. Made alo etzem. Its function is to point to the etzem, nothing else. Not to tell you anything about it. Ve'ein zeh. This is to distinct. This is not k'moi oyer v'ziv hashemesh. It is not like the light and the shine of the sun. What? How is it different from oyer v'ziv hashemesh? Shehu, which is dobuk mohu etzem, but the oyer v'ziv hashemesh is dobuk, is connected to the etzem. The principle that is connected to the etzem means is to denote the fact that it cannot be separated from the etzem. You cannot take a little bit light of the sun and place a barrier between the sun and this light and have it here. It exists only as it comes and it's connected to the etzem. Because all it is representing the etzem. It is not representing its own mitzias. That is oyer v'ziv hashemesh. Nonetheless, the oyer that we are talking about, the color and the appearance is even more subtle than the oyer v'ziv hashemesh. The oyer v'ziv hashemesh is also dobuk bo etzem. Is also connected to the etzem, and it not be in a disconnected state. Moreover, it is me'ein ha'etzem. The word ayin, the eye, that was the appearance. The eye means is the likeness. Me'ein ha'etzem, it is of the likeness of the etzem. It is of the essential quality of the etzem. That's what oyer v'ziv hashemesh is. It is, so to speak, made of what the etzem is. And the Rebbe elaborates on this. Sheho etzem hu bihiri, because that the etzem is bihiri, the etzem is bright. Okay, thus, therefore, because the etzem is bright, therefore, gam ha'yisparshus mimenu, that which comes forth and spreads forth from the etzem, hu eir v'ziv, is a light and a shine. Because the etzem in essence is behiri, is bright. When we look at the etzem, we look at the sun, and we see the brightness of the sun, we relate, we identify the brightness as the light of the sun. That which comes forth from the sun. However, this is not looking at the reality correctly. Because the oyer is representation of the sun. It is not the sun. Why is the oyer representation of the sun? Because the sun is behiri. The sun is in essence behiri, is bright. This which we are seeing, we're seeing the oyer millions of miles away from the sun. This is a hispashtus of this oyer. This is not the actual oyer of the sun, of the appearance of the sun. This is hispashtus. Why is the hispashtus so bright? Because it is akin to the sun itself, to the nature of the essence of the sun. There's more in here the Rebbe is going to further elaborate, but I don't want to, we should, so to speak, go away without getting some kind of a sense what the Rebbe is trying to say to us. Just as in the case of sun and its light, that we say that this light, that this is light, this is not the sun. This is a light that reflects what the sun is. Because sun in essence is Behiri. Later on, we're going to point out that if we look at the person's face, a bright face represents a brightness in the mind and in the intellect. This is the actual life element in the person. But this is not an extra step to show what's going on. This is the actual revelation of what is going on inside the mind. So the actual experience as a person experiences himself to himself. And it comes out in a brightness. Why brightness? Because internally it's bright. The brightness of the sun, it's very difficult to us to focus and understand what that means. It has an internal element of brightness. We have a difficulty with this. The reason we have a difficulty with this is because we are such smart scientists. And we know that it's the heat that makes it so bright, etc., etc., etc. We ought to try, as best as we can, to separate the heat from the brightness. The heat is the physicality, is the lower element of what the sun is. The brightness of the sun is a real brightness, pure brightness. And because the sun is pure brightness, this is why this shine, so that the light of the sun, we can't even call it light, we call it day. Because this is revealing light. It's not illuminating by sending some hot ray. This is revealing light. This is what we discussed yesterday, many times before also. This day element is of such great significance. I've mentioned many times before, and I want to mention it again. The Rebbe created the whole world and created many species before he brought Adam Rishon on the scene. After Adam Rishon came on the scene, the Rebbe gathered all the creatures together and said to Adam Rishon, "You name them." And the Torah says that Adam Rishon named all the creatures. He's quite a bright guy. But the interesting thing is that he named all the creatures, but a few. Some things that the Rebbe named them himself. As for example, day. Day, the Rebbe said, "Vayikra Elokim lo oir yom." Hashem assigned the name Yom to day. Why did the Rebbe himself assign this name? Not let Adam Rishon name a light. But Adam Rishon named it day. So we explained, at least this is my understanding, that the reason that Adam Rishon was not entrusted to name day because you could not get behind this whole union. This is not a part of the world of creation. This is a divine truth itself. This is the Gilui of Elokus itself. He couldn't name it. In order to name something, you have to be able to go behind it and have full identification of it. You could not go there. The day is an entirely superworldly reality. Light is a worldly reality. Day is a full superworldly reality. It reveals the way things are in essence.
Just wanted to ask, Shemayim Ba'aretz also is beyond.
That's right. This is the basic. Sometimes we'll discuss it. Absolutely. There are many things that the Rebbe should name himself. A day, and dry land, and the yamim, because this is what brings world into being. This is not world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the Rebbe says. You have to understand this is it's not just a spreading forth, sending ray, the heat of the no. This is a brightness of the sun. Again, and therefore, for this reason, because the sun is in essence behiri, the sun internally is behiri. That's why the hispashtus of the sun, when the sun becomes known, identified externally, it's behiri. It's a bright presence. Ebeziv. So this Oebeziv, that is the hispashtus of the brightness of the sun. So you would think that this is exactly the same thing, because we are going to distinguish that from AYIN. So he says, yes, indeed, that this is connected to the etzem, and it is representing the etzem because the etzem is behiri. That's what this is also behiri. Nevertheless, it's a different stage, a different level. This oil from the sun in Yonoi, its function is it is to affect the effect of light. It has a function. It is not just oil telling you there is a sun. It's also coming to affect something in the world, an action. As the Pasuk states, Hashem placed the luminaries in the firmament of the heavens to bring light to the earth. The Oyer Hashemesh, which means in simple terms, the Oyer Hashemesh are the light of the sun. It is not merely to tell you about what the etzem is, to describe the etzem. Kiyim, rather, lifail dovo, to affect and to create and to accomplish something. It is not merely to tell you what the sun is, but to actually have an effect. That's what Oyer Hashemesh is. So these are, looking at the sun and the brightness of the sun and the light of the sun, we actually seeing two distinct levels. The sun itself is an essential brightness. The oil that spreads forth, this is something which has a function. It spreads forth to accomplish something in the world. It does not just tell you that here is a sun. Now, dogma mizeh, okay, do we have that? Okay, let's try going further. Now, dogma mizeh, The similarity to this is Lamailo above Hu Ho'er Shel Ho'er Ho'elams. The oil Hashemesh is oil and it's connected to the sun. It cannot be disconnected. Nonetheless, this is not the oil that tells you about the sun. This is the Lamailo. This would be the oil Shel Ho'er Ho'elams. The oil, the light that has a function to illuminate the world. Not to tell you about the etzem, but to illuminate the world. Shegam came, which is also miyuchad ba'etzem, which is also united with the etzem, umein ha'etzem, and it is of the caliber, so to speak, of the essence of the etzem itself. It representative of the etzem, like I said, by the sun, the light of the sun is represented by the etzem. Komo came, nonetheless. In Yonehu Lehoyer, it's an inyan and its function. It has a distinct function. It is not to tell you about the Ein Sof. It is to affect something in the world. Lehoyer al Horetz. Lehoyer. The inyan of the Ein Sof is Lehoyer. It is to illuminate. Lahoyer, to illuminate means to come in a place where there is no light and to illuminate that place. Let us for a moment examine that concept. If you have a dark place, the world, and then you say, I'm bringing something, to illuminate the world. So you are contradicting the essential presence itself. Because naturally it is without this oil, and now there is this oil. However, lahoya does not mean you're going to contradict its essential being. You're going to bring an additional, a higher light to this place. It remains what it is. But you're bringing, in essence, something from a different source to it. This illumination that is brought does not negate the initial presence. It just it kind of elevates it. It purifies it. It gives it a sense of a godly sense. But nonetheless, it remains world. This oyer that they say is that comes from the oyer is also miyuchad ba'etz. Is also miyuchad ba'etzem, is united with the etzem. Umeino etzem is of the caliber of the etzem. And yet, it has now a distinct function of its own. To have an effect on the world. It has now this function. How is it different than its original state, when it was representative of the Etzem? In the original state, when it was representative of the Etzem, it was at the level of the Etzem Mamash. It did not speak of itself at all. What is the difference? Let us see if we can kind of focus in and identify the difference. The Etzem is a self-contained truth. There is not in the etzem an allusion to the fact that it came to be. Or a functional purpose. It stands for itself and remains at that. This oir that is me'en ha'etzem, representing the etzem, it does have this element that it has a source and it has a state of being. That already distinguishes it from the essential truth. What's the difference in essence? What is the difference between these two stages? The difference is that that which came into being is not a fundamental truth. It has a function, it has a purpose. It came as a result of some solicitation or some external cause for it to come. Whereas the essence has no external cause for it to come. It is there because of its own truth.